got your band, but you're not quite sure how to name it. If you're a solo artist, it can be a little bit easier. You can either go with your own name, or you can twist it slightly and adopt some form of pseudonym, a stage name. A band name is similar. It's all of you under one assumed name, unless you're Alice Cooper, in which he's got a band that plays with him. Anyway, today we're going to discuss how you can pick a band name. My name's Alan Spicer, and this is a tutorial from Open Mic UK on artist development. Now, we've already gone through how to pick a stage name for an individual. In fact, I've done a video, it'll be in one of the iCards here or in the description of the video below. But there's a lot here that you can compare and contrast that are the same. The idea of a band name is something that's branded, brandable, unique, something that people can identify with you, and in the long run identify with themselves as a fan of you and your music, your band. That is why a name needs to be dialed in a little bit. It can't be random, unless of course random is your thing and the entire element of the band. But here's a few tips. 1. Try and reflect the mood of your band. For example, Paramore was very emo-y-esque rock music. Evanescence, very much the same. They're all aspirational or imaginary or like emotional based trigger words. Disturbed, a rock band that deep dives into the brain, the way you associate with things. Can you tell that I'm a rock music fan? Lady Gaga, she's picked that because it's unique. She's a little bit crazy. She's the Gaga lady. You don't necessarily want to have Killer Megadeth when you're singing love songs. 2, maybe you want to use your own name, but you want to make it a little bit more descriptive. David Bowie was born Davy Jones. He wanted to make a clear distinction between Davy Jones from the Monkees and David Jones himself. What he did was adopted David Bowie after his favourite knife, and it gave him a certain edge. Alternatively, if you want to go down the route of knowing that the band's after you, you could go down the route of the Dave Matthews Band. Now, this normally gives you a hint that the band can rotate around people. If you have a look at Evanescence, for example, Amy Lee's the start there and she's had session musicians for ages. You kind of understand that that setup could be more set up around consistency. 3, consider how it would fit on merch. Your name should be short enough or look cool enough on merchandise. Maybe even an acronym. Lady Gaga, that's 4 letters by 4 letters. You need to think of t-shirts and hats and CDs. Maybe a cool logo. Trent Reznor of the band 9 Inch Nails denies any deep meaning to the name of the band. He claims he just wanted to be able to abbreviate it easier. NIN. And then you go down the route of people like Linkin Park that shortened it to LP for merchandise. My Chemical Romance, MCR. So consider how it would look in the long run, because hopefully if you're successful, you'll want to be selling merch, so you need to consider the long tail on this. 4, make sure it's easy to spell and pronounce. A name with overly weird spelling could take an edge off you being found. In fact, in my case, if you have a look at some of the deathcore metal bands where it's all scratch writing and it's hard to read, it kind of defeats the point. I'm not saying that it has to be grammatically correct, because Korn is spelt with a K, but it's short and it's recognisable. And although the band Leonard Skinner has been widely successful, when it first came around, I'm sure there was many people that tried to spell it as the name, Leonard Skinner, rather than the Y's and the N's in random places. In fact, if you don't know what Leonard Skinner is, try it for yourself. Try and search for the band, how you would think you'd spell it. I'm sure it'll confuse Google a little bit. 5, choose a name that is legally available. The last thing you want to do is get all excited about finally picking the perfect band name, only to find out that Killer Bunnies also exists in Australia, and in fact they're really popular out there and can't steal the name from here in the UK. If you search for the name pretty much on Google or in patent offices, a good trick is to go through iTunes and Spotify, search for the band name. That can eliminate a lot of legwork for you. 6, figure out if the domain name's available. To help you with your branding exercise, you need to make sure that you're grabbing the domains that are relevant to you. For example, I have alanspicer.com, but I was a little bit slow to the punch and there was already an Alan Spicer out there, so he already claimed the Twitter handle. But I was able to grab the YouTube channel. But we was juggling for years, and I've been juggling around this platform for 8 or 9 years, so I should have known better. But if you're starting a project right now, you definitely know better, because you want brand recognition across all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, MySpace, Bandcamp, or whatever your band name is.com. You can simply check this by going to places like Namesco or GoDaddy and then typing in the name of the band and then seeing what kind of results come up. You'd hopefully aim for something like a .co.uk in the UK or a .com if you're looking more internationally. 7. Consider inventing a word. Metallica's name, for example, was invented by Lars Ulrich when thinking of names for his mate's metal band magazine. 8. Reflect on your fans. Try to understand your target audience. Try and get into their head. You may be able to weave a band name around that concept. Alt rockers Green Day named themselves after a slang term, used by San Francisco kids no less. And it means smoking pot all day. It's a green day. And it was intended to connect with rebellious youth, the punk rockers, the demographic they were leaning into. Now, if you're still not quite sure you need help in picking a stage name or understanding why you need a stage name, there's videos here. Remember to subscribe for regular artist tutorials, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.